Insum Insider.
Welcome to the Inside. This is the Insum Insider, your source for Oracle Apex tips, techniques, methodology, and really wherever that discussion takes us. I'm your host, Monty Lanchelet, coming to you today from balmy Houston, Texas. And with me today is my good friend and member of the Insum family, Michelle Scamity. Hello, Michelle.
Hello, Monty.
At the helm, keeping us on time and task, is our producer, French-Canadian Mark Rule. Mark, we appreciate everything you do for us. It's Thursday, March 11th, Season 2, Episode 5, and thank you for spending a piece of your afternoon with us. We're worldwide, coming to you today on YouTube and Facebook. The Insum Insider is, of course, sponsored by Insum, and thus the name. If you're doing anything at all with Apex and you need a lifeline, reach out to us. We offer everything from coaching, mentoring, all the way through turnkey project management and development. We're laser focused on Apex, and we have been since 2004. Michelle, I understand you took some well-deserved time off last week. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. It was great to spend some time with the family, actually.
Anything you want to share, or was it one of those down weeks where you're just recharging the batteries?
Just recharging the batteries. We got some good skiing in, though, which was great. And I actually have to say, I caught you in a little bit of a lie because it's Mark's turn this week to be off. So I am here with you on the show, but also producing. So I hope you'll be gentle with me this week.
And still French-Canadian.
Still French-Canadian, though. That's true.
Well, I'm really looking forward to today's show. On deck, we have Oracle's own Jennifer Nicholson. And for those of you who don't know Jennifer, you've definitely seen her work. She's responsible, among other things, for the Oracle ACE program. So what do you say we bring her on?
Absolutely. Jennifer, welcome. Welcome to the Insider.
Thanks for having me.
Hello, Jennifer.
Hello.
It's our pleasure to have you here.
I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you.
Well, I know that everybody kind of associates you with the ACE program, but it's really more than just the ACE program. There's other programs that kind of fall under your purview. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about your responsibilities there with the advocacy programs.
Sure. And I'm in a brand new group within Oracle, Developer Relations. It started a couple months ago. And in that group, we've got the user group organization and then advocacy, internal and external. But I focus on the ACE program and also Groundbreaker Ambassador program. So I'll be talking to you about both those programs today. Yeah.
Great. Well, something we do, we have a lot of fun with. We've done it for the last couple of weeks, and the attendees seem to like it. We're going to do 2 truths and a lie, Oracle ACE edition. So if you could, 2 of these are true, 1 of these are lies. So 1 of these is a lie. So if you could put in the comments which one of these is the lie, we'll touch back at the end of the session and figure out who is correct here.
Monty, do you want to read through them?
Yeah, we'll do that. There are Oracle ACEs in over 50 countries around the world. Wow. One of the main reasons for leaving the ACE program is career retirement. And third, it's possible to become an ACE director without first being an Oracle ACE. So that's going to be a tough quiz for us today, but we'll look forward to seeing the comments in the chat. 1 of those is a lie. 2 of them are true. All right. Well, Jennifer, I'm very familiar with the ACE program. I've been an ACE since 2014, and really enjoyed every minute of it, and enjoy the hard work that you guys do in support of the ACE program. But for many of us on the call, I'm sure that this is going to be some new information. And so if you could kind of go into introduce kind of the ACE program. I know there's levels. There's also a process that you guys go through for recruitment and approval. And if we could kind of start with our discussion there, that would be great.
Sure.
Jennifer, did you want me to share your screen?
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay. There you go. That's up and visible.
That's up? Okay, thanks.
Yep.
All right. So I mentioned I'm in a new group, developer relations. There's about a little over 20 of us. So it's exciting. We have a lot of programs, new programs planned. And this is just how to get in touch with me. But really, I want to talk to you about joining the community. And as I mentioned before, I'm responsible for 2 programs, and I'm going to mention a third here too, Java Champions. The ACE program and Ambassador program are managed in our group, and Java Champions is similar, and it's also a program that recognizes people in the community, specifically the Java community. But it's a little unique in that Java champions are the ones that decide who becomes a Java champion and what the program's all about. But I just thought I would mention it because it is another recognition program. So a little bit about the ACE program. There are over 480 ACEs in the program, and I will talk about the 3 different levels.
Don't tell us how many countries they're in, though.
Well,
That's part of the contest.
Say that, but here's the spread, because a lot of people think it's mostly people in North America because it's an Oracle program run out of our corporates, but it's actually more ACEs are outside of North America than in our region. So that's interesting.
Jennifer, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but can you take a look on the screen? Is this what you are meaning to share? Because I think we're...
Oh, no, that is not.
Right, okay. Are you able to...
Okay, hold on, sorry. I'm glad you said something because I had my... Give me 1 second.
Yep, no worries.
Try one more time.
On the Insum Insider, we're talking to Jennifer Nicholson. Going right into that, I'm just short of hand puppets here.
You can tell it's live.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Does this look better?
Yes.
Perfect.
You should see contributes in the community.
Yes, that's what we're looking at. Great.
And then I'll just back up, and there's my 408. And that shows you the geographic spread. So actually most of them are in EMEA. So what are the ACEs? What do they do? Well, they are people that contribute in the community, and they contribute in a lot of different ways. Some ACEs are speakers. They present at user group conferences or developer conferences or meetups. Others are blog. Probably at least 70% of the ACEs blog at least occasionally. Many are authors and write articles and answer questions on forums like Stack Overflow or community.oracle.com. So one of the misconceptions, I guess, about the ACE program is you have to do one, you have to be a presenter or you have to blog. That's not true. It's there's a lot of different areas you can contribute, and it's kind of up to you on what you like to do. And then these are just some examples of the user groups, and Monty, I'm sure, could talk to you more about ODTEG. But, these are the conferences that the ACEs tend to participate in. So user group conferences, all over the world. And because of the last year's environment, a lot of our conferences and events are going online. So Kscope, for example, will be virtual this year. I have 2 of the tours on here. We actually have 5 different tours, Asia Pacific, Latin America, EMEA, Nordic, and 1 all in India. And that's a great way to get involved too, is speaking on these tours, which this year, again, will be virtual, but hopefully in the future, we will get back to doing in person.
Are those tours, are those just for directors? Because I know that the directors receive travel sponsorship and that kind of stuff. So if you're just a regular ACE, are you needing to provide your travel? And yes, we do provide travel support to ACE directors and Groundbreaker ambassadors.
But I will say on all the tours, there are, we've had associates and ACEs presenting too. And if the tour comes to your area, it's a great way to get experience speaking. Because when they are in person, for example, the Latin America tour stops in 12 countries. If you're in India, if you're watching in India, it's over 10 cities. APAC is, I think, 10 countries too. So we really go all over. So it's a nice way to get involved. And especially when conferences are virtual, it's easier to present, right? Because you don't have to travel. But yes, that is a benefit for ACE directors and ambassadors.
On the in-person tours, do you have to participate in every stop? Is that the way it works? So
no, because like I mentioned, the Latin America tour it's 12 countries. So Monty, it lasts a month.
That would be quite the commitment, I would think.
Yeah. So I think the most I've done is 2 weeks, and believe me, you're pretty exhausted after 2 weeks. So no, we absolutely do not expect that, because we know that you're doing this in your free time, right? So it's hard to also get off that much time from work too. So
I'm telling you,
it's like fun though. What a great opportunity to visit a region though.
Yes.
But yeah,
I can't imagine a month though. I need a transfusion after 4 days.
Exactly. One of the big ways that ACEs get started for many of them is just by volunteering. So if you are part of a user group already, that is a good way to start contributing. So whether you could start by planning a meetup or planning a webinar, writing a newsletter or organizing a newsletter. There's a lot of different ways to volunteer in the community. And so just let me talk a little bit about the tiers. So we have 3 tiers in the program: associate, ACE, and ACE director. And just roughly, ACE associates are contributing up to 2 years in the community, ACEs 2 to 5 years, and ACE directors 5 or more. And it's not that you've been working with Oracle products for that amount of time. Some people have been working with Oracle products for 20 years, but then they start blogging, for example. So it's really about how long you've been contributing. And then it's also to what degree you're contributing. The ACE directors for sure are contributing a lot, and they also have a relationship with product management. So those are kind of the key quick differentiators between them.
And Jennifer, so when you say for an ACE director, you need to be contributing a lot, and I assume a bit less for ACE and ACE associate, are those sort of identified somewhere quite specifically what level of contribution you need to be reaching in order to get to the different tiers?
Yeah, so great question. We look at kind of how long you've been contributing, and then to what degree, and then are you considered an expert in your area? So are you known among your peers? Are you known in your region? Have you, like I mentioned, you don't have to present. We have some ACE directors that don't present, but we kind of look at what you're doing and how much influence and commitment you have to the community. And then all ACE directors do have a relationship with at least one product manager too. So there's a feedback that the ACEs give to product managers, and actually product managers work with their ACE directors to tell them about things that are coming up.
Your question is interesting too, Michelle, because I've always heard, and Jennifer kind of confirmed it in our discussion, was that the ACE is recognition for what you've done for the community, and on an ongoing basis, but it's what you've done for the community. It's recognition for those actions. But the ACE director is what you're going to do. So there is definitely a much higher commitment for the ACE directors. Oracle is going to lean on those guys for product feedback, and it's not like these guys have to go out and just drink the Kool-Aid and spew whatever Oracle tells them to spew out. These directors are valuable feedback for Oracle, because they have such a tight relationship with product management.
Yes, and feedback, positive and negative. That's one thing that has been said about the program, is that, you can only say positive things, and that's absolutely not true.
Right.
We value feedback, positive and negative, and that's actually a value to us, because that's how we know how to improve our products. So just wanted to address that. And then I'll just talk a little bit about groundbreaker ambassadors, because there's just three differences. You can be an ACE and never talk about cloud. Okay, you don't have to talk about cloud. But if you're an ambassador, you are showing cloud. So what that means is all ambassadors are presenters, which is different from the ACE program. So they're presenters, and they present at developer conferences. And at these conferences, they show cloud. So those are the three key differences, but they aren't focusing on Oracle products. So they could be about microservices or, open source, any of these other things, but they know how to use cloud. So those are the, the main differences. And these are the types of conferences an ambassador would present at compared to the Oracle user group conferences. So DevOps is huge in Europe. There's several different locations. GIDS is big in India. TDC, the developers conference, there's a few of those in South America. So
are you're one or the other? You're either a groundbreaker ambassador or...
Good question. So we actually have some that are groundbreaker ambassadors and ACEs. So there is some overlap, and we have some groundbreaker ambassadors that are also Java champions. So there is a little bit of overlap, but usually we look at, where are you presenting? If it's a conference like this, then you are appropriate for the ambassador program.
How's the Java champion community right now, or the program going? Because when that acquisition occurred and Oracle took control of Java, there was a lot of people that were vendor agnostic up to that point, and then Java fell under Oracle's umbrella, and I think it took a while for people to kind of come around. How's that program?
The program is going strong. There's probably, I think, about 315 members now.
Wow.
And it's unique in that, the Java champions decide who is nominated for the program, and then it's just Java champions that vote on those candidates. So they're really the ones that decide who gets that recognition. And a difference between ambassadors, ACEs, and Java champions is once you're a Java champion, you're a Java champion for life. With ambassador and ACEs, it's an award for a 1-year period. And then we look at what you're doing, and we can talk about that we have an app where everyone enters in what they're doing. And then we can tell through that app, should you be promoted to the next level, or, and do you get the award a subsequent year? So those are the big differences. But yeah, that community is very strong.
That's awesome. I'm glad to see that.
Okay, so quickly, what are some of the benefits? We touched on travel support earlier. I'll talk a little bit about promoting. So one of the benefits of being in the program is that we help promote the members and what you're doing. So we have a blog where we pull, I mentioned that tool where everybody enters in their contributions. We take from that application, of course, in Apex. And then we use that for our blog. And then we also, on social media with LinkedIn and Twitter, we promote what the ACEs are doing, where they're speaking, etc. So that's nice, and it helps kind of raise your profile there.
So Jennifer, this would be outside of the sort of annual review to see if you need to stay in the program or be promoted. As the ACEs are producing content or speaking or getting involved through that tool, they're also keeping you informed regularly so that you can share that information out.
Yes, because we
Okay.
want to promote what the ACEs are doing. If they're speaking, articles, books, anything that we want to share it with the rest of the community. So we help kind of amplify what you're doing or what the ACEs are
Great.
doing. Yeah.
Okay.
And another thing is just access to product management. And one of them I'll talk about in the next slide is product briefings, but the ACE network is great if you're a member and you have a question and you need something, you can reach out to somebody. It's a very amazingly helpful community to each other. So that's one way to get help. But the other is if ACEs can't find the right person for a question, they just need to contact us, and we put them in contact with the right product manager or the right person within Oracle. Sometimes it's just a matter of finding the right person to answer your question. So we help facilitate that. And then, like I said, we mentioned travel support. So product briefings, this is one of our big benefits too of being in the program. Every year before Open World, with the exception of last year, we have a full day briefing for our ACE directors and Groundbreaker ambassadors under NDA. So it's a nice benefit. This past year, we actually opened it up and had it virtually, and all ACEs could attend. We've always had virtual product briefings even before COVID, because we recognize that, we have ACEs in, I'm not going to say how many countries, but a lot of countries.
Thank you.
All over
Thank
the
you.
world.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to put up I'm just going to remind people what our 2 truths and a lie are. If you want to put in the comments, or scrolling at the bottom there. That was a good reminder.
So we recognize that not everybody can come to Open World for that briefing. So we've always had virtual product briefings too. So at least once per quarter, and we try to have them twice to get the different time zones, but it's also a chance to get to know those product managers and reach out to them. So that's another nice benefit. And then just also career benefits too. You heard the term, it's all who you know. So there's definitely networking is a key benefit of being in the program. At larger events, obviously these were actually the cake, the one with the Java birthday cake was last year, but that was JFocus. No, excuse me. Yes, JFocus.
Doesn't it seem like a lifetime ago when you see these photos of like crowds of people like hugging?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
it's bittersweet.
Bittersweet, yes.
And then
you have.
sorry.
You have Ashish who's saying hello and saying nice to see you. I believe he's a member of the program.
Then we have chocolate tastings. That's from UKOUG. And then, probably 9 months ago, I was getting a lot of emails and messages on Twitter from members saying, we so miss going to the conferences and seeing people in person. And so we did a virtual happy hour, and I was expecting like 30 or 40 ACEs to come, and we had, well over 100 ACEs just tuning to see each other and connect. So it's a really great group for networking, and this is one of the ACE dinners. So how can this networking help you? Well, I don't know how many people are listening that are hiring managers, but when you hire, it's nice to either hire somebody directly or from a referral from somebody that you know and trust. So it's a great way to get a job. And I know we don't want any of the Insum ACEs leaving Insum, but
no, we do not.
No.
For everybody else.
I said good day, ma'am.
Actually, we're asking them to block their ears at the moment.
Well, we're out of time.
But one of the other benefits of being in the program is we provide passes to Open World. And an ACE from Brazil, Rodrigo, was telling me last week that because of this free pass he received, he paid his own way to come to Open World, And it was at Open World where he met several other ACEs, and that led him to getting a job at Accenture and Encatech. So it was all from that Open World pass and coming and then hanging out with the ACEs. So don't underestimate the power of networking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's got to be validating for you in the program. I mean, this is
that made me so
changing
happy.
Changing lives.
And then just really quickly, if you're listening and you're wondering, how to get started, I guess one message I really want to get across is this is amazing community. And the reason it's such an amazing community is because it's about people who want to help each other. Yeah. And I always say, don't do these activities just to get this award. That's not the spirit of the program. It's about doing what you love. So if you want to get involved and be a part of the program, I recommend, just start small. If you think you might like presenting, then maybe at a user group monthly meeting or something like that, starting there. Or I know a lot of people that blog started because they solved a problem themselves, and they just did a little blog post about it, how they solved it, just kind of to remind themselves in the future. And that's how their whole blogging career started. A lot of people just want to answer questions like Stack Overflow or community.oracle.com. So there's lots of different ways, but start with something that you love. And then, like I mentioned, getting involved with a user group is a great way. And all user groups have ACEs. So that's a good way to get connections there.
Are we nearing the end of this PowerPoint? I didn't want to cut you off there, Jennifer.
I'll go really fast. If you're interested in finding ACEs in your area, we've got this directory, rules in Apex ACE. So even if you search Apex, you'll find the Apex ACEs, and then you can just reach out and connect with them. And if you're already contributing, this is how you apply. acenomination.oracle.com or GBA nomination.oracle.com. And for the ACE program, it's for associate ACE. Don't worry about which one you apply for, because when we review you, we can figure out, but include as many links to your contributions as possible.
And just because go ahead, Michelle.
Go ahead, Monty.
Yeah, just because somebody wants to be an ACE or you think someone's qualified to be an ACE, that you don't have the ability to recommend or submit somebody. It has to be done from themselves and from the community, right?
Yes, great point. So if I see somebody in the community that would be an amazing ACE, I can't nominate them. It has to come from either the community or from Oracle. And anybody can nominate themselves for associate or ACE, but for ACE director, the nominations need to come either from a product manager or another ACE director, but it can't be, you cannot self-nominate for ACE director, and you can't be nominated from someone at your same company. So those are the only kind of rules.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
You just answered my question, Monty. We had the same question at the same time.
See, great minds. Great minds. We this has been great information. I even have been very familiar with the program over the past 6 or 7 years, but I even learned a lot. It's changing over time. So this has been great information. We're extremely proud of our stable of ACEs. I'd like to go ahead and bring in our ACEs, give them some FaceTime, and let them talk a little bit to Jennifer about what the ACE program means to them. First off, can we bring in the Canadian ACEs?
Canadians.
The Canucks.
Okay. We've got
Francis,
Adrian, Sylvain.
Hey.
And we do have poor Luc. Oh, Luc is trying to join. He's home with a bunch of teenagers that are using up all of his bandwidth. There you are. You made it, Luc. Good.
Tell him to get off Fortnite.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Sylvain, let's start with you.
So
how long have you been an ACE, and then give us the your thoughts on the program real fast.
oh yeah, you're taking a chance giving me the mic here. It might take about half an hour. That's what Francis said. So anywho, I've been a Oracle ACE for about a year now. I've been awarded ACE Associates, I think in January or February of 2020, and in June promoted to Oracle ACE. And I guess it started with me going to different conferences, OATUG, and some blogs and whatnot, and helping out also with David Peak white paper on Apex and EBS, since I'm an Apex and EBS expert, and writing a little bit of a segment in Luc and Francis' book. So at one point, Francis says, you should apply for Oracle ACE. You have a very acute expertise, and you like to share the knowledge and all that. So, I'm not worthy of that. What are you talking about? So, but he convinced me, and I applied, and I'm so happy because we're doing a job that we get really good at. And the least that we can do is share it with other people that are trying to do that same type of job.
Yeah.
So for me, I mean, it's the more I exchange with people, the better it is for me as well, right? Because I learn so much every day, and before I start my day, I look at all the forums about Apex and EBS. Whenever I can help, I do help, and that's my answering my fan mail type of thing, It's just forum, and that's what my wife says. So I'm answering the forum, answering the question as much as I can, and it's really fun to do, So it becomes part of my routine nowadays.
Well, you bring up a good point, Sylvain, is that you didn't get here alone. People helped you along your career, and now it's great to pay it forward and to help people along in their careers. Great deal. Adrian, what's your expertise, and how long have you been an ACE? And give us your details.
Monty, we only have a couple of minutes. You're asking Adrian to list his to tell us about his expertise.
Well, knowing Adrian, he's gonna be very quick to.
I'll be brief. So I've been with the ACE program for since 2018. I think I got my inspiration way back when I started my career during the .com era, and those of us who remember attending those conferences organized by Sun Microsystems then, and then you see these Sun evangelists, and I thought it's nice to, as Sylvain said, right, just do stuff that you really like and actually get paid for it.
Yes.
Yeah. I would say that I actually like what Jennifer said, that don't do these things because of the award. It should really be a consequence of what you already are doing. And I actually got that message from Vincent way back, I think at Kscope 17, when we had moved in that little restaurant. But yeah, so I been doing Apex. So last year I got my ACE because Apex. But in the last couple of years, I've been doing more cloud as well. So I'd say I got a little bit of both. In putting my shoes in two different boats. Yeah. And
sounds like you need to be a groundbreaker.
I don't know about that.
One thing I would say, Adrian, in terms of contribution to the community, besides all of the, your presentations and your blogging, you've also been doing your challenge coins, and you're a very generous member of the community, and I just wanted to mention that you give a lot of yourself, of your time. You never hesitate to give a colleague help. So I just wanted I wanted to mention that you're a really valued colleague and member of the community.
Well, thanks, Michelle. And I have to say, it's these little comments that I've gotten over the years, whether it's through personal conversations, Twitter messages, sometimes you don't know who you really help, and when you actually hear that, that makes your day, right? The award is nice, but I'd say this is something even better and something that I really cherish a lot. And that's kind of why I also started the challenge calling way back, because not everybody could, afford the time and commitment to contribute to the program and actually be in the program. So it's a little way for, just members of the community themselves giving each other some sort of a pat on the back.
Yeah. Francis, you're up.
Hey, my turn.
Your turn, my friend.
The old guy of the place, right? So,
Ace director.
Yeah, our ace director.
actually, in my case, it's all about the Apex community. So I got involved with the Apex community a long time ago, 2007, I think, really, where I met the whole team for real at Open World, and they asked me to present some things we've done with Apex and started getting involved. So to me, it's all about networking, getting to know everybody, being part of the gang, and then speaking. I did a lot of presentation sessions at different conferences. So I got nominated. Actually, everybody thought I was an ace for a long, long time. I was hanging up with everybody and said, ace. So in 2012, I think Scott Spendolini actually told me, like, hey, I'll nominate you, and then went through. I couldn't believe it. So I was part of the gang then. And then being very close to the Apex team, Joel and Mike and the others, I think they nominated me as a director. So that's how I became an ace director. And since then, I'm trying to keep up. But like Monty likes to say, it's not about what you know, but it's just about what you share. And so I like this way of seeing these things. So being there, getting involved, working with other aces in our own company, but also outside, getting to those product briefings. So there's a lot of nice things. It's a very cool community, a big community now. I saw some of those pictures you showed, Jennifer. I was trying to see, where am
Try
I?
to find yourself.
So then a very nice program, and really encourage anybody that's part of it. I've been asking Michelle actually to nominate herself. Like,
You all are making it sound very appealing. So absolutely, it's the first thing I'll do after this show is I'll go nominate myself.
Yeah, you should.
No need. We can get that done. There's no need to nominate yourself.
Monty, if you allow me, I'd like to say a special hello to some other Canadians that are Oracle Ace or were Oracle Ace and were at Insum at one point in time. So I'm thinking about Patrick Cimolini, who had retired a couple of years ago. Of course, Martin D'Souza and Vincent Morneau, great people. And then another guy that he's not Canadian.
Jorge.
I think he's a Canadian. Jorge Rimblast. So,
but he's not Canadian. We're talking about Canadian. Jorge's watching.
He's from Minnesota, so he must be Canadian.
Not too far.
Canada's southern province. All right. Well, thank you guys.
Auntie, sorry to interrupt. We did lose Luc. Luc is sad not to be able to share a few words, so I just wanted to speak on his behalf. He says he's a new associate. He really loves it, and thank you, Jennifer, and all the team. And he would like to thank his colleagues and friends at Insum for helping in the ACE program.
Luke is somebody else too that I think needs to look at the Groundbreaker program, because his job really does involve cloud. Thanks for mentioning that, Michelle. Thank you, Luke, for your contributions to the program. Let's roll in our U.S.
Just one thing to say.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Adrian.
I just wanted to, Luke said, thanks, Jennifer and Marla. It's amazing how two-person can manage a community of like hundreds. It's a tough job.
Especially needy types like these days.
I have the best job at Oracle because this community is amazing. I'm very fortunate.
Well, we're just as fortunate to have you have you manning the tiller. All right. Well,
All right.
let's go ahead and bring in our U.S. contingent here. I think it's just going to
Which
be.
means we have to say bye to the Canadians.
Yeah, we got to say bye.
So
to
much
the
room. All
Canadians.
right. Bye, guys. Thank you for joining.
All right. Au revoir. Au revoir. All right. We
All
have
right, okay.
Hayden and Anton.
Here's
And myself.
Anton and Hayden, our
Nice.
American East.
Hello, Anton. Hayden, thank you for joining us. Same question. What do you have to say about the ACE program, and just kind of what's your expertise?
Go ahead, Hayden.
Sure. I'm Insum's latest addition to the Oracle ACE team. I'm an associate. I think I've been an associate all of a week.
Congratulations.
No, very honored to be included among stud ranks. I have been a part of the Oracle Apex community for a couple of years now. Kscope is the highlight of my professional year. And lately, I've had a lot of fun being Anton's co-host on the Apex Instant Tips. So it's been fun.
Yes.
And I'm Anton. And for me, it's really all about the red vest.
Suits you too.
In about 2007, we were all given these vests.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, right?
Very nice.
So, or maybe it was 2006. And I started out as maybe somewhere in that range. I started out as a Fusion middleware regional director, and then the program. People probably don't even remember that term. That program merged with the ACE program. So I've been in ACE since pretty much as soon as it started.
It's a long time.
Yeah. More than Hayden's been alive, probably. And it's been a fantastic program the whole time. Like everyone else, I really enjoy the program. But I also want to say that it's a lot of work. The people who are ACE directors deserve to be ACE directors. And I'm not one anymore because I didn't put in the amount of work that it takes. And I have no issue with that. That's great. But those folks that are the year in and year out for, in my case, it would have been for 14 years. I just couldn't keep up the pace. Perhaps someday, Jennifer, I'll come back to you and actually put in that level of work. But it's a lot of work, and it's really worth it to be part of the program. I've enjoyed being part of the program and reaped the benefits of it as well for the last more than a decade. Ooh, wow. So thank you very much for all of the experience that I've been able to gather through the program.
Thanks for being in the program for that long. That's very impressive.
Absolutely. I became a member of the ACE program back in 2014, and I'll take a minute to tell my story. I've told it to you before, Jennifer. I've shared this story before. I wasn't one that did a lot of presenting. Haven't written any books, and so there's, as Jennifer mentioned, there's more than one way to get the recognition. For me, it was in the evangelism and the advocacy of Oracle stacks. When I was president of ODTUG, I was nominated and didn't really, to be completely honest with everyone, didn't really feel that deserving because you've got guys that are been working with the stack that are very, very, very accomplished and, in my opinion, much more deserving. But I talked to Deborah Lilly, and Deborah Lilly said, "Monty, it's not what you know, it's what you share." And that comment changed everything for me. And then I realized, you know what? I can share things that I've learned on, through my journey. And if it benefits other people in the community, then it makes me feel like this ACE nomination wasn't a big mistake. So I want to stay in the program. As Anton said, it's not easy. You've really got to put your work in. But when you do that, the benefits are definitely there. I find myself too, and we can get to this later in this session, but I find myself really defensive of the program because there's, you'll hear people say, "Oh, those are just mouthpieces for Oracle." Nothing could be further from the truth. Believe me, the benefits we get, you guys, when we're at Open World, we go to dinner or something like that. And it's great. We appreciate everything you do for us, Jennifer. But, the that is not worth us just, prostituting ourselves for Oracle. We do it because we love doing it. We do it because we love to pay forward, and we're very committed to the technology that we love. So I really don't like it. I don't like it when people are saying that, it's just an Oracle marketing arm. It's not true. Not true at all.
Yeah, I want to take one thing to the community really is a community, and a lot of us here at Insum are part of the Apex community, and that community is also very tight. And that's the product developers, the product managers. They're all part of the community, and I think that's part of what makes all of this somewhat unique is that we have a community of really avid developers outside of the company, but Oracle supports us in a way that's unique by giving us access to product managers, to direct access to the development team from time to time, which is really amazing to be able to interact with the people developing the products and be able to influence the direction of the product is really a huge advantage. And so I appreciate that aspect of it every time. So.
Indeed. And I think that's the biggest benefit for me is access to the other ACEs. And as you mentioned, access within the halls of Redwood Shores. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you, Anton. Thanks, Hayden. Let's bring in our Latin contingent. We have Angel and Gabrielle. Are they able to come on?
Here they are.
Hey guys, mi amigos.
Your two truths and a lie were about how many countries we have Oracle ACEs in, and look, I feel like we're covering a good bunch of them here at Insum. Bienvenidos.
Bienvenidos.
Muchas gracias.
All right, Anel, how long have you been an ACE, and what are your thoughts on the program?
I've been an ACE some months ago. Maybe last year was. I feel too grateful with the being of part of the Oracle ACE team. I remember I always liked to share knowledge when I was on the school, and then when I meet to Jorge Rimblas, he was an ACE. I want to feel it that path. So I guess he was one motivation for me to follow that Oracle ACE. And when I get nominated, I feel also some motivation additional to continue sharing knowledge, sharing blogging. I guess it's nice. It's nice for me to share the knowledge.
Very good, very good. Gabriel.
Well, in my case, I have been an ACE since last November. And my involvement with the community was mainly with the community forums. I have been there since 2013 when I started working with Apex, when we had version 4.2. And I remember back in the day going there and asking questions. I even talked a bit with Jorge back in the day. And well, since then I have been doing some talks for some user groups and also doing some blogging. And that was what helped me to join the ACE program.
Great. And are there any specific areas, Angel and Gabriel, that you focus on? Sort of specific areas of expertise that you like to share, particularly about?
Yeah, in my case, I am a specialist on Oracle Apex, PL SQL.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the same for me. I focus on Apex, and also I blog about quirky things that you can find, some tips or things like that.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome.
We'll have to have you on Anton and Hayden's quick tips show then, and share some of your hot tips. That would be great.
Indeed. Well, Vio con Dios, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks,
guys.
Jennifer, thanks for indulging us. We really are proud of our stable of ACEs, and we're really happy that they could join us.
Yeah, that's great to hear from them.
Hey, let's get personal. How what was your journey? How did you get to I understand what your current role is, but how did you get here? How did you get to Oracle?
Yeah,
tell us a little bit about that.
It's remember how I said it's all who you know?
Yeah.
So this is my second time working at Oracle. The first time I became very good friends with several of my coworkers, and flash forward to 2014. Well, backwards now, but forwards from when I first joined. And my friend heard about this position in the ACE program and thought of me and recommended. I talked to Lillian, my predecessor, and that's how I got hired. It was all from a friend seeing the job at Oracle and recommending me. So
when you joined,
as we've said, it's all in who you know.
Yes.
So when you joined, Vicky was Justin had already left, and it was just Vicky and Lillian.
So then it was Vicky and myself. Mm-hmm.
And I know COVID's taken the air out of everyone's sails here for the last year or so. What's some of the challenges? Certainly COVID, you can speak to that, but what are some of the other challenges that you have with the program right now? With do you need more people, more qualified people nominated? What's some of your current challenges?
Well, COVID is part of it, just because I was really hoping our tours, for example, could be in person this year. I've been wanting to launch a North America tour for a while. We were going to launch it last year, but then COVID hit. So I guess just that it's always nicer to see people in person. Let's see, other challenges. One's about the two truths and a lie. I can't say that now.
Well, we'll be there in just a minute. Before we get to the two truths and a lie, what I had one other question is, what's the future of the program? You and I have had some conversations, yes. So I know that there's some things that we're not going to be able to talk about today. There's some things that we can talk about. So what's the future of the program?
Yes, so we've had several times since the program started. Well, it's 15 years old or so now, but when we introduced the different levels, that was one big change. And then we do have another change coming up for the program, which will be this summer, that I'm very excited about. And it'll just, there's a few parts, a few changes that are part of that, but they're all amazing, and it's going to make the community even more inclusive to different people. So that'll be great. So, but I can't talk about it any more than that. And then just coming up with benefits, more and more benefits. So that's one of the things I work on, which will also be launched in the next few months too. So I guess none of that I can really share right now, but
well, we can have you back. We'll have you back when you are at liberty to talk about it. Come on back. We'd love to have you make that kind of announcement right here. Let's go ahead and talk about the two truths and a lie. So if we could throw that up on the screen, if you could address each one of these and identify which is true and which is false.
Okay, so there are Oracle ACEs in over 50 countries around the world. That is true. We have them in 55 countries right now.
Amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
One of the main reasons for leaving the ACE program is career retirement. Well, that was something I was just alluding to was lately, the main reason ACEs are leaving the program is because Oracle is hiring them.
Yeah, no doubt.
Actually, Maxime Tremblay, he was an Apex ACE. He just joined our group, actually. Scott Spendolini, I'm just going to mention just the Apex ones. Used to be an ACE director. He joined Oracle. Vincent, another Apex ACE, joined Oracle. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that Oracle has these amazing people, but it makes me sad that they have to leave the program to join. So
hey, it makes us sad too.
Yeah, Trent. I think Trent Schaefer, someone else that's joined.
There've been a lot lately. So it's possible to become an ACE director without first being an ACE. That is true.
So the false one is actually that the biggest culprit is career retirement?
Yes.
No. Oracle is the biggest culprit.
Yes. I even tweeted about it that from now on, hiring managers need to nominate like 3 people and every time they hire an ACE.
Well, you know, it's certainly, the ones that you mentioned are our Insum ACEs that have joined Oracle. We're happy. We're happy for them. They're certainly missed here at Insum, but you know, it's very flattering that Oracle could choose anyone, and they're choosing our Insum ACEs. They're choosing our expertise, so it's very flattering. I hope it stops, but it's very flattering.
I have no control.
Talk to somebody, Jennifer.
I've tried.
Well, you know, I really appreciated you giving of your time. You do it all year long with the program, and we've definitely enjoyed having you here. Come back and see us again sometime.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you
Michelle,
very much.
What do we have coming up on the calendar?
Yep. Okay. So in a couple of weeks, March 25th, we have Scott Spendolini. We've just been talking about him. He'll be talking about his team at Oracle and the COVID-19 apps. Of course, every Friday here on our YouTube channel and Facebook, we have Anton and Hayden, who we've met today, presenting their Apex Instant Tips. And then every Wednesday at 11, we have Stephen Feuerstein presenting his quick PL SQL tips. So that's what we have coming up next. Great. The Insum cinematic universe continues to expand. I tell you what, Michelle, let's get everybody back to work. If you'll cue the music, we'll dance on out of here. Thank you all for being here on The Inside. Bye now. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
You've been listening to the Insum Insider.